Hello, stamping friends. This is Traci Raether from Plum Crazy Stamping. And today is September 11th, 2024. And today's presentation is going to be about how to use a hybrid embossing folder. So let's go ahead and put that up in the corner so that we can get started. I'm just going to check my volume here a second. I'm hoping that there is not an echo. Okay, so I am looking at our annual catalog right now. And on page 128 and 129, you'll see the information on the available embossing folders in the annual catalog. There are also embossing folders on the online exclusives, and I will give you a sneak peek into our mini catalog as well. So one of the nice things about our new annual catalog is that this is also an idea book, and it does talk a little bit about using your embossing folders. So this page 128 says that you can ink up a folder before you run it through the cut and emboss machine. You can ink up your paper after you've done the embossing, and you can also use a hybrid embossing folder to emboss and die cut at the same time. And that's the one that I'm going to be featuring today, but I wanted to show you what else is available. So right now in the annual catalog, the hybrid, that is the dies and folder set, sold as a set, is Adoring Hearts, Seaside Wishes, and Thoughtful Moments. So just so you know what is available to you. And hi, Carol from Minnesota. If you would let me know who you are and where you're watching from, I would appreciate it. Go on ahead and sign in. And let's just take a peek at the embossing folders that are in this new mini catalog that just came out. There's actually 3 of them. On page 25, there is one called Painted Trees, so 3 trees. On page 27, there is a Forever Plaid. And on page 31, there is Birchwood 3D embossing folder. So just so you know, there are some new ones available. And let me just show you, you may have some of these other embossing folders that have been available or are available now on online exclusives. So sometimes they will sell these skinnier. This is a regular embossing folder, not 3D. There's 2 of them in a pack. And this one's called Fun Patterns. So there's like I don't know what you would call this, just diagonals and then loopy kind of daisies in this one. And one of the newer ones, this size is amazing. This is something circles or dots, but this you can actually put a whole half of a piece of cardstock and have this emboss the whole card, or you can make 2 card fronts at the same time. Then we have, when we began with embossing folders, they were all a little thinner. So you can see this one's a little bit thinner. And then they started sharing with us 3D folders. Hi, Betty. Hi, Scrapperd123, or Deb. And hi, Mary Ellen. And these are a little bit thicker, and also the impressions that they make are a little bit deeper. So what we're going to be using today, I believe, let me just take a peek at the one we're going to be featuring here, is a hybrid. This one's called Changing Leaves, and I believe this is on the online exclusives. And this is 3D, very thick. And it's paired with a die set called Changing Leaves. And it has leaves that go with the stamp set that are right here. So you can cut out these images. It has a couple other things for your sentiments. And it has a like set of berries that go with this. But then it also has what is the hybrid die that is featured with the folder. So what this does is actually you put it into the folder and it will cut out. And in this case, it cuts out 3 of the designs at the same time as when you are embossing the paper. And I'm going to show you the different things that come out of using this pair of dies with the embossing folder. I'll just set this aside here. And we're going to have to get the embossing, cutting embossing machine here. I'm going to use my, I guess you'd say, old-fashioned right now. Sizzix. This is the Big Shot. Okay, and as I was thinking about the card I was going to make, since I'm doing fall leaves, I wanted to use, rather than white, use some Very Vanilla. And then I got some fall colored paper. So I've got some old olive, Cajun craze, pumpkin pie, and I'm also going to go with some pretty peacock. And then I'll be showing you some of the things that I've been doing with, like I said, Very Vanilla. So the first way we're going to do it is just use the embossing folder itself. And you can see I've done this on Very Vanilla first. And if you wanted to, then I'll show you how we can ink this up after the fact. So I'll just leave this as a sample there. And I'm actually wanting to take my pretty peacock and actually run that through for just, wait, I want to do that with the dies. So let's do this one with Cajun Craze, sorry. All right. So let's just put this through like we would. I'm sorry, I'm going to go like this and line it up. And there is a line here in case there was a folder that you wanted to do that was very linear. Now this is fine however you use it. And because this is a 3D, I'm going to need to take my usual cutting plate out. I'm going to take the thin adapter out, and I'm just going to use the base plate and then this blue plate, which is designed to deal with 3D folders. And then set up my sandwich here, and then go ahead and roll this through. Okay, so then I can move the special plate, put the base plate back on, and we've got our beautiful image that is embossed. Now this is, a square image, so somewhat different, a little bit larger. So if you want to do some square cards, this will work. Or you can cut this down to fit on our regular greeting cards that we put in a medium-sized envelope. Okay. The other thing that you can do when using this, if you want to use your spritz bottle, you can also spray the cardstock before you put it through, and it will kind of loosen up the fibers a little bit. Now this went through just fine and it's very detailed, but that is an option for you if you want to or don't think that you're getting the depth of impression that you want. Okay, so let's just set that off to the side. Now I want to do the two things together because I want some loose, pretty peacock die cuts. And so let's see here. I got to layer this up properly. So I've got to get this just put into the proper place and then close up this. And let me show you. You can see that the dies are exactly in alignment with where the leaves are on the embossing folder. And then I'm going to set this in here and use my adapter for 3D. Once again, put this in here just a little bit further. Okay. And then I will roll this through again. Now a little tighter because it's got the die in there as well. We'll take off the adapter. And the die slid out. But now I have the colored die. It doesn't want to let go right there. So I've got the one leaf. I don't know if that didn't cut. Sometimes if you're using this, you might want to run it back and forth. I'm just going to cut along where that little piece wasn't cutting out. There we go. We have that piece. And the third leaf is right here. Now that one was a little off. You can tell. I must not have had it lined up. And so what I would do in that case is just take my scissors and trim along where it didn't necessarily match. And I'll still have a leaf impression and it'll be usable. Okay. So this one, just a little bit thinner leaves than would be, but when you trim it, you can't tell the difference. So that's fine. And then the other thing is, when I've done this, I have some other leaves that are also available, and I can just cut around them and I can use them in my card design as well. So, and then I have a big scrap of paper here I'm not going to get rid of. All right. So that's the second way that you can use that. So from before, I have some very vanilla that I've cut out, and now I have the pretty peacock, and I'm just going to set those aside. So now I want to show you the third way that you can use the embossing folder, and that is to actually make a colored impression on the background. And you could also die cut these out a second run through your machine after you have the ink on them. So let's go ahead and we'll ink up our folder. And I think at this time I'm going to use some copper clay for my ink. And I'm going to look at what is the top of the folder. And that's the part that I'm going to ink up. And I'm going to use Very Vanilla. And let me get my stamp pad here. Now, this is one of the newer in colors, so this will have a lot of ink on it. So I'm going to be careful as I am putting it on here. Trying to get it up to the crease, but not over the crease. There we go. Kind of just turn it around. Getting to the edge of the folder. I'm kind of looking, did I get all of the areas on the leaf? Sometimes the very center of where the pad is needs a little bit extra of a push here. And I don't necessarily want to see the lines of where I've gotten the edge of the pad either. Oh, right there, doesn't want to, there. Finally came in. And let's see this leaf over here. Okay. I think that looks good. Okay, now I'm going to set that aside. I'm actually going to put my paper in here. And I'll line it up on this side. Make sure that it's straight in there. And then once I put this over, I don't want to move it because I don't want to smear it, right? So we'll put it back in here. And our adapted plates. This is always called making your sandwich. Hi, Donna. Hi, Kim. Bonita. Hi, Barbie Krieger. Betty. Kathy. Nice to see you all. Okay, so now we're going to look at inking this up. Oh, boy. So there you can see this is inked. Now, you can tell with the this being a new ink pad, there is a lot of darker areas there. So this is an extra juicy pad. So I could go over this with a dauber. I could actually use a dauber to put the color on the embossing folder, but you can see that we do have these colors, and in nature, it's not all one tone. So we've got a little variety. All right, I'm going to let that dry a little bit. Put that over here. And now to wash this off, first, you know what? Because this was such a wet pad, I'm just going to take a Kleenex first and get some of this so it's not all over my stamping chamois. So let me just wipe this a little bit. All right. Then I'm going to actually take my chamois, and that's what I love about using this to clean my stamps. You could actually just go rinse this under the faucet. I'll just do a little basic wipe, but it actually comes off easiest if you just let it run under the faucet and have the water clean it off. Okay, but this works if you're not near a sink. All right, so we've got that. All right, so let's close up this ink pad. Now we've done our different, actually I want to put one little piece here through with another embossing folder, a regular one. So let's get our usual. I'm going to use the skinny one. Let's see if I can get that through with this adapter. Let me just grab the. Let's just do the gingham one. Just going to set this in here and now put this through with the regular. See if I can do it with my thin adapter. I might have to take the thin adapter out. I think I do. Let's go ahead. Haven't used these. Most of my folders are 3D now. Yeah, that works without the thin adapters for when you use dies, not any of the embossing folders. Okay. Usually I'm using dies, so I keep my thin adapter in there. All right. Let's move this out of our way. And let's go ahead and see what we can do with our card design based on using the hybrid embossing folder. So I've just taken a piece of Pretty Peacock, and this is the regular medium card, 8.5 by 5.5, and then scored at 4 1/4. And then a really pretty fall foil that we have yet that we can purchase is called, let's see here. This is called Oxidized Copper. So it is copper and Pretty Peacock together. I think this is gorgeous. So I wanted to use a little bit of that in my design to add just a little shine. So I have this, and I'm going to just glue that on the back of the front of the card. Hi, Kelly. Thank you. I'm glad you're liking this. Okay, little glue, get that on the front here. Okay. Then I wanted to add another little texture with my Cajun Craze. So I'm going to put that on there. Now I can do this too. They both have some elevated part on them. I'm not going to put that down yet because I might do dimensionals. Not sure what I want to do yet. And then what do I want to do for the front? So I wanted some color choices. Maybe we'll do the smaller leaf in the blue and do this one larger. And let's do a little coloring. Let's see. I think I'm just going to, this background looks really pretty. I hate to wreck the whole background. It's art. Let's just go ahead and do that. I'm actually going to cut out just one leaf from here to introduce another color. Okay, and I'm just going to cut real close to this outline so it'll actually appear die cut. Okay. So we've got that in there. And then I'm thinking that white is kind of stark. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in one of my blending brushes. And let's see if I've got a scrap of paper here just to color on top of. And let's see, what color do I want to make this? I think I'm going to use, let me find one of my, what's this one? Pumpkin pie. Let's see how inky this is. So blending brush, I'm just going to pick up some ink from my stamp pad. And then I'm going to start off of the page and then go on to the image. And with this stem, I'm trying not to break it off. There we go. Okay. Kind of giving it a little different colors depending upon how hard I push. Well, this is looking better already, not so stark on there. I want to try to blend in those spots where I made it look like a spot. There we go. All right. Need a little more on this top leaf. Okay. So this will just rinse off my blending brush with water. All right. So now I kind of want to put these together. I actually like that a little bit, not necessarily straight. Okay. And then I'm going to need a sentiment on here. And I also think I'm going to put a little linen thread in here as well. So let's just get, I think I'm going to go with the orange. And I'll use a little of the, let's see, dark, I think copper clay. I don't know that I want to use black on here. Let's make this a thank you. I'm just going to do this right on the bottom of this page. Try to pull it up there so you can see we've got our thank you. And I'm just going to take a long straight edge scissors here. Now I could cut this out with a punch or a die, but I'm just going to make it a little square. I could actually make it a banner if I wanted to cut into it, but I kind of like it like that with this at an angle. All right, so I think I'm going to do a combination here, trying to make this more 3D by using some dimensionals and gluing some flat. So I am going to glue the bigger one flat on here, and I am going to let it, you know, kind of overlap a little bit. Let's just pick this up, get some glue on the back. I'm not going to do the tips because they might be hanging over onto the card. Oh, and I know you can't see me putting the glue on, sorry. Let's get a little glue on the stem here. Now I could be using my silicone in case there's a little glue left over there. Okay, so we've got that. Now this, I was kind of liking the way these were sticking up a little bit. So what I think I'm going to do is glue down the stem and then put some dimensionals underneath there to have a little interest. So let's get some just small dimensionals here. The mini dimensionals. And I'm going to kind of put them in the middle of the leaf, not on the end of the leaf, so that they'll stick up. And hi, Kathy. Glad to see you're joining us. And then let's get the little glue on the stem here so that that part does stay flat. Okay. Let me take the adhesive off the dimensionals. Right. And kind of put this right next to that stem, and then these leaves are going to stick up. I like how that adds to it. If you want them to stick up a little bit more, you could curl them a little bit with your bone folder. Okay. And then with the green leaf, I'm going to kind of hide that underneath there just a little bit. And once again, I'm going to do glue on one end and a dimensional on the other. Now with this one, I'm going to use a bigger dimensional. Right? And kind of tuck it in there just a little bit. And then the bigger dimensionals on that side. Okay. And then the thank you, let's see, I'm going to put it a little bit under that leaf. So this I'm going to glue down flat. So whenever you're kind of putting together a number of things on your card front, think about how you want to add a little wow, a little pop, right? And then I do want now to use dimensionals behind this. I like the way that that is turning out to have some height. I think it's going to add interest. Right. Okay. And I'm going to put that at an angle, but I want to try to keep the leaves on top of the card so they don't get stuck in the envelope, right? So we've got our thank you. Now let's get a little linen thread here, if I can find the end of it. And I think I'm just going to do a real small bow. You know, just add another element to it. All right. And trim off the ends. And I'm going to put that right on. Let's see. I don't like how these kind of go together. So I don't know if I want to put the bow right on top of that so you don't see it. But it looks weird that it's on the end. I think I'm going to put it up here on the blue. And I'm going to use a mini glue dot. I just have one from my leftover paper pumpkin. So I'm going to use that. But if you have mini glue dots on a roll, you can do those too. And so I'm going to take off this adhesive that goes on here, and I'm going to roll the mini glue dot itself into a little ball so it can go right underneath the knot. Okay. So roll that into just a little ball and place it under the knot where the knot's going to go. There we go. And then press that on top. And that will hold that in place. And then for the inside, I need a piece of berry vanilla. And I'm going to go ahead and I think use the, I guess I'm going to use the orange for this leaf. Right, and I better put my pierce mat under here. And I'm going to have it go. Now I need my scrap paper on top of here because I'm going to have it go off the edge. Okay. We'll do just like that. Okay. And then let's go ahead and put a greeting in here. Since this is thank you, it says a little note to brighten your day. And you know what? I'm going to make that another color just because it'll be more fun. So I'm going to take my pretty peacock and ink that up. And I like that this is just a little note, so I'm going to put it right on the bottom here. A little note to brighten your day. So that looks a little bit different than if it were taking up the whole thing. So I have more room to write my note. Let's go ahead and glue that inside. There we go. I like that it's two colors on the inside. That adds a little something than just having it be all, monochromatic. And then lastly, let's go ahead and use some gems. Now, what I could figure out is I think these were from the last annual catalog or mini catalog last fall, but they match perfect. So I'm going to use them now. They're called adhesive backed speckled dots. And I think I'm going to use the neutral. No. I am going to use green just because I have just a little bit of green on here. Let's see, we'll put one right there. I'm going to use my rule of threes, kind of going in somewhat of a triangle. And then I'm going to take the bigger one and have that actually be right here in front of the thank you. There we go. All right, so that's what you can do with a hybrid embossing folder. And you could actually put the embossed portion behind here with the leaves as well. But I thought for fall, it was so fun. So do you have any questions? Oh, Donna, thanks. I'm glad you like it. And I really do. This metallic paper, I'll tell you, it just adds a little elegance, doesn't it? Not something every day. Let's see. Before we go today, there are a couple things going on I don't want you to miss out on. So let me just set that there, get the inky things out of our way. And first off, I want to let you know Stamping Up is hosting a free World Card Making Day on October 5th. Now, I did put this in my weekly email, so you can get the information there to register. I'll also be posting it on my business page. And I don't know if you can get a close-up of the QR code here, and that will also take you to the registration. As I said, it is 1 hour long. It's going to be making some simple cards. And you're also going to get some extra ideas and a little something special from Stampin' Up. So if you want to join us, it should be a great day, a lot of fun. And in that hour, we'll make cards together. So just a reminder, there's a lot of ways you can get access, but I hope that you'll join us. This is a Saturday. And since this is Mountain Time, I believe it's 3 to 4 Central Time. And then the set that I showed you today is called Changing Leaves, and I did the hybrid embossing folder with you. And there is the stamp set. If you buy this suite of products or anything from Stamping Up to $50 in product, I will mail this to you via email, and you'll have 4 free card tutorials using this kit. But if you have anything that is leaves or another kind of image, you can use these card designs to get inspired to make some cards. So that is through the month of September. And then the last thing is on the 20th of this month, I'm going to be doing a crop. And first 15 minutes is a question and answer session about anything paper crafting. And then I do a little lesson on something. And what I'm going to be sharing with you this month is the Haunted Home Kit. I'm actually going to put that together while we're working together. It is going to actually be a kit event. So if you purchase any kits or that kit, you will have a chance to win the Haunted Home Kit. Now that has a value of $18, and right now it's not available. So in case you didn't get one or you're anxious to get one, I'm going to be putting out an opportunity for you to do just that. I'm also going to have people that post samples of any card they're making, whether it be on my business page, in the Card Conversations Facebook group. They'll also get one chance to win that Haunted Home kit. So, some fun coming up. Keep your eye on the business page and know that I will be back here with you live next week, Wednesday, to do another card making lesson. And during this next week, or the rest of this week, I guess, I'm going to Stamp Camp, and I'm going to be making projects that I'll be sharing with you over the next few months. So, I thank you for joining me today, and I want to say anything I can do to help you, please email me at Traci, Traci, at plumcrazystamping.com. And otherwise, happy stamping, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye now.